Okay, thank you, Jim. This is a very special video for you YouTubers. It has been 63 and a half years since I last visited the beaches of Normandy. I was not a part of the original invasion. I was there in another capacity entirely. Nevertheless, this special trip, organized by some of you YouTuber fans of mine, will involve a broad tour of the major scenes of that battle, along with other sites in the war. When I first landed here on Normandy Beach, it was a very different place. None of these trees were growing. The Germans had sawed them to bits as part of their own war effort. The Germans' war effort, you may be surprised to know, coincided mainly with our own. These trees have been replanted by the original French inhabitants. Under each of these pines, you will find one deceased French person who died as a result of that terrible conflict. This is Omaha Beach, named after the beaches of Nebraska. On our right, due north of the point where we currently stand, Pearl Harbor. I first came to Normandy as a little boy. I have since outgrown my status as a little boy. But as you can see, I still enjoy playing in the sand. Please cut the tape. This monument is a very special one. As you can see from its inscription, this monument represents the Battle of Tegucigalpa, which I was honored to participate in the early spring of early 1944. The Germans had been inciting the Mexicans to riot. The Mexicans were a primitive early people, able to shoot down airplanes only with the aid of bow and arrow. In fact, this helmet that you can see me wearing at this moment was a special Mexican design called in English, loosely translated, a pimp helmet. Over 20,000 Mexican inhabitants and over 200 Allied soldiers died during the 3 days of fierce fighting in Tegucigalpa. Strange, primitive, savage women with 3 rows of teeth. Their spirits are still here among us. Can you feel it? YouTubers, can you feel it? After the battle was decided, we found many bite marks in the bark of these trees, reflecting those 3 rows of pointed teeth. Scientists have speculated that somehow the Tegucigalpan women were able to merge their bodies and souls with the chlorophyll of this aging forest, and thus gain for themselves an element of surprise. The Tegucigalpan people are a very rotund people. Their rotundity can be easily mistaken for obesity, but it is not so. Their genetic markers predispose them to a fleshy kind of fatness seen in the animal kingdom, usually on whales and belugas. I mention this fact to point out one of the less trivial features of that important battle. And this has been noted by many important scholars, namely the special resistance the Tegucigalpan women had to bullets. Some will think these reflections of mine border on superstition. I must warn you in a very precise way that this is not so. What I say here is the strictest historical fact. In order to puncture the aura of these invincible, bulletproof Tegucigalpan women, it was necessary not simply to rape them, as has been done in previous wars since time immemorial. It was, however, necessary to gang rape them on a pile of specially prepared coconuts, which we had blessed by the shamans of the rival village. The wings on this memorial's inscription represent the souls of Tegucigalpan women in flight from the many injustices we did to them. However, as you can see, since this monument was prepared by a bunch of greasy wetbacks, it is a biased one and does not truly depict our long heroic effort on those terrible 3 days. I think I have left something inside of my pants. This has truly been a terrific journey, a much awaited and truly tear-filled reunion with the battlefields of my youth. I wish to thank all of you YouTubers who have embarked on this precious journey with me. In particular, I would like to thank Thomas J. McFarlane, whose expertise and many resources has made this journey possible. Toodaloo!